complaining about the weather, but I'm kind of enjoying it that it's finally cool.
I know, but you know, you were blessed with a pool, so not all of us are. Hey, Snow. How are you?
Hi guys, how are you?
Good. Good.
I am super excited. It's Monday again.
No, new day, new week. One day closer to getting past all this. So I hear all the good news from a lot of different places and states. Studios are open. I see opening messages on Facebook. I see this and that. Like, you know, some areas are this, some areas are that. But overall, I see a lot of good things happening.
Well, finally, are you going to judge the Twin Cities, right? They're running.
Well, so far it's running. So if it's running, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna definitely be there. If I get a flight and everything, I hope everything's gonna go good. But if I can, I'll do it for sure, 100%.
All right.
Lie. It's still 2 months out.
All right. Anybody else did anything new, or so far same old, same old?
Oh, I went rock climbing yesterday. So that was pretty fun and adrenaline rushing. So it was my first experience, and I did 5'8", so I'm super impressed. You guys know, but like they have numbers 5'2", 5'6", 5, you know, all these levels. So 5'8" is like mediocre level, but it's good.
Is it a difficulty grade that 5 something, 5'8"?
Well, 5'8" is like middle level. It's not so easy and it's not so hard. So
you're doing it in the rock climbing gym?
Silver level if we have to talk about our dancing, right?
So the only thing at rock climbing that really worries me is like what is if you're hanging in there and then you are trying to get the next grip up and there's like a snake or a spider in there. What are you going to do?
That was my first experience. So I got to 5'5". They put a kid's rope and I started climbing and I was like, ooh, spider web.
I know. Did you do it in the gym?
No, outside. Gyms are closed. Everything is still closed.
That's kind of was my question, if they're open or not.
No, not yet. They're not open. So.
All right. Well, I see Elena online. I'm going to do a proper introduction to that girl. So she is like so many countries champions. It's like an Asian champion, England champion, Australian champion, Japanese champion, Singapore champion. I mean, that would be one of my questions. I don't know how that was possible, but that's awesome. She's also been on tons of other countries Dancing with the Stars. So she did Dancing with the Stars India, like a Bollywood, which sounds so interesting. I wonder if they do the same dances. She did choreography for Dancing with the Stars in Australia, and actually she participated in Australia, did a choreo for England, and for me kind of the most impressive, because I'm Russian, is she was judge on Russian Dancing with the Stars. I'm on crazy Russian stars. I was watching it and I'm like, if I would sit there, I'd probably pee my pants. So she is super established. Welcome. We're so happy to have you.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Good. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you.
One thing you haven't mentioned, Elena, I think she also has a dance studio in Los Angeles.
Yes,
I mean, if I'm going to go through the whole entire list, I'll be just introducing her for 40 minutes.
Come on.
But Lenchik, literally the question is, because it's so many national titles, you know, I immigrated from Russia, was national champion there, and then I have my titles for US, but you went and traveled and lived in so many places. Tell us about that experience.
Well, not as many as you mentioned, but we lived in Hong Kong and we danced for Hong Kong, and we danced, we were first European couple who represent Asia, like Hong Kong. So it was very strange because, you know, all Russian dancers representing other countries all over the world, and we were the first one representing Asia, and then we definitely not look like a Hong Kongese or Chinese. So that was a very unique, but since that, we've seen so many other couples start representing China, like Sharon and Snezik, and in the ballroom, Irina and Alexander, and then they switched back to represent Russia. So it was a good experience. And then when we won, but there is like not very difficult to win Hong Kong championship because there was not many couples there. But Asian, yes, we did. And then we moved to Australia and we started representing Australia. And with my previous partner, like Igor Mikhalkov or Igor Vyshegorодtsov, I used to represent Russia. We were like in the final, but we never actually won because we had very strong couples with my previous partners. And I still remember once I used to compete against Elena and Max when it used to but we were in like quarterfinal in Pro in Kremlin, and you guys been already in the final. It was, I think, my first Kremlin Cup.
I remember you actually coming to USDC with Mikhalkov, I think. I even have
in Miami.
Somewhere. I have to find that photo. You have like super short cut like this, like me right now, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and after Australia, you guys moved here, or because I feel like you went back and forward.
So after Australia, we won few times national titles, and we went to world championships. And then they invited us for Dancing with the Stars in Australia. So that was our first experience in Australia.
Right. We always talking about we. I don't think everybody is aware of. We is Gleb and you. Gleb Savchenko from the American Dancing with the Stars that we all know on TV right now. So it's going on, the legacy. It's not what you have done before. We is also like on American Dancing
with the
Stars.
Yes.
I know.
So both of us, we tried Dancing with the Stars. Our first TV show was in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So and actually he was voted off first as the first couple. So I made it to week 6 with my dance
Is
partner.
there concurrence going on?
Not anymore. The first season, yes. It was like,
Oh, you guys are funny.
Well, I mean, we're all so competitive. I remember making the first season and getting voted off on the first week. Like, I felt so upset because I was like, ugh! You know, it's like, it's the competitive, it's very hard to like let go of it, you know. It's especially straight off from competition. After that, you're like, okay, you know.
And so then in Australia, we've done already, me and Gleb, we've done a few TV shows as well there, like dance competition. Like there was like Everybody Dance Now. We danced with Ricky Martin on The Voice. And then I thought about trying to do a movie a little bit slightly, took a choreography, and I submitted like, you know, not like normal person. I submitted my footage for choreography and music, and they picked me out of nowhere. So that was a very good experience. And I said like to myself, I want to do something more creative, and I want to do, besides competition and being a dancer, I want to do choreography, I want to produce, and I want to do other things. So
right, you did this like huge show in England. It's almost like what they call it here, it's Broadway, and over there they have a different name. And I think
West End.
Yes, West End. Did the choreography for one of those shows?
So I've done 3 stage shows, and like, you know, they're completely different. My first experience was after I became a judge in Dancing with the Stars in Russia, and there was a question, so what's next for you? And I thought, I want to do musical about Dancing with the Stars, but behind the scene. So I put things together. I had amazing cast, like 23 people. 6 of them were celebrities. So I had like celebrities, and I had dancers, and I had singers. So it was big production, like, you know, like 90 minutes to 100 minutes. It was in Russia. And then after I done this show, the Kremlin producers, they came to me and they bought the show. So, and then 6 months later, I put on stage a live show in Kremlin, and I was all over the Moscow with my posters, and I was like, that was one of my dreams come true. And then I thought I wanted something more, so I decided to aim for bigger, and I put up a dance show, different slightly, with the Strictly Come Dancing celebs after Gleb been on Dancing with the Stars in England, which called Strictly Come Dancing. So with other pro as well, her name was Christina Rihanov.
Yeah,
she used to dance with Michael Ventic.
Michael
Paul
Vintic,
Killick
yeah.
and Michael Vintic in Latin. So we put both of them after Strictly Come Dancing. We decided to put up a show. So I produced it. I put everything together, and we done it on one of the oldest theater on West End in London.
That is so cool. I've never produced, I mean, I did choreography for competitive dancers, but never for the stage. That's just so cool.
It's a headache.
And you also had 2 children in the meanwhile, right? What are their ages?
So yeah, with all of this, we have 2 girls. One is she's gonna be 10, and she actually dances. So she's competing here in America with her dance partner. And the other one, she's 2.5. She's going to be turning 3.
Cute. So did you have any experience with stage shows, or did you just pick that up?
Yeah, that's what
on stage. I mean, how did you get into it? Did you do like ballet or any kind of stage dancing when you were young, or was it just, oh, I did Dancing with the Stars, I did those tours, I got it, now I know what you need, and you just got it very quickly?
Yeah, also, I participated on a few stage shows in Australia, on the big production shows, and I worked with Ricky Martin there. And in Hong Kong, I used to have my own dance company, where already from Hong Kong for like 3 years, I put up different shows for big events for casinos in Macau, where actually all of the other ballroom dancers, girls and the guys, been part of it. So I put shows together. We did Can Chinese dance, so we did. Then you name it, I've done it all. Bollywood dancing, ballet dancing, whatever the clients want. So I put up everything together, make it work, and cut the music, create the costumes, so like the best dancer who used to work in Hong Kong that time, all of them, especially girls, been part of my dance shows. So I had an experience in Asia, in Hong Kong, for like 3 years with my own company, and then because from TV and from my personal experience, I decided to try something bigger with the stage shows.
I mean, yeah, it's like once you have a little bite of a yummy cake, you want more, right?
Exactly, 100%. And now it's like during this quarantine, I was thinking what I want next, what I want, like something new and something what I had never done before. I have a dance studio already, so I got on thinking dance here as a choreographer, and then I did Finale 2019, I believe. Yes, I think so. Yeah, where I met the Cole Mills, one of my teacher in my studio. So I did take this. Like, what's next? I opened a studio. So my studio is around 2 years. It's gonna be 2 years this June. It's not great at this moment because we're all in quarantine, but I start to open up, and we have more than 20 online classes for kids and adults. And plus I have Gleb celebrity on Dancing with the Stars. So
I remember coming to your studio and seeing Cole there, and also Ilya, and I'm like, oh my God, that takes me back like almost 20 years. They're my dance babies. They're like, I taught them since they literally started basic steps, like 1, 2, 3, cha cha cha, huh? And now, Cole was on So You Think You Can Dance, and then Ilya didn't do a Russian Dancing with the Stars.
So I become like more like a producer for all of my boys in the studio.
Yeah,
I would say, and then I had a great opportunity to help to manage Vlad Kvartin, so to help him to get on Dancing with the Stars in Russia this year. So it was a very good experience, but it was his first season. So like all of us, he was out first.
Let me ask you about the Dancing with the Stars Russia, because like I was saying, I actually watched quite a few episodes, and you know, there are big celebrity people were sitting next to you. How was that experience? Because we like grew up watching them, and now you're sitting next to them, you know, it's like I would be probably a bit starstruck.
I had a very good time with them because they like over there in Russia, the big celebrities, same as here, they're very nice and kind and warm. Like, you know, they're not very over exaggerating and try to, you know, show up. So I felt very comfortable. And then most of them were male, so they like me straight away. So they started giving me all the compliments and flirting with me. So we had a very good time. So all the new big celebrity producers, some was sitting next to me. So we had a nice coffee breaks and a little bit of wine. So we had a lot of fun.
You said they're gonna do another season, right?
So
they do right now. Right now is Dancing with the Stars in Russia.
Right now. It's right now. They completely changed production company, and you can see they completely changed a judge panel, which is more commercial, not a traditional. There is no one right now from traditional ballroom world, so we don't have anyone. We only have Daria, who's been on the show for the past 10 years. She used to be a host, and now she's a judge, and she wants to be only one female judge.
Daria, the one that danced with Urbin?
No, the Daria host. She used to be a host for 10 years.
Yeah, okay, I don't.
And now she's a judge. And nothing to do with dancing.
I see.
That's a Russian way.
Let me ask you a question. There is a lot of people going to be watching this, and since you had so many different experience and change of a career, what would be the advice for a younger generation that you can give? Like what they should work on? What is it that they should strive for to be successful? And I mean, how did it work for you?
Well, personal that all over the world they have to learn Russian, and they have to learn a little bit other styles of dance. So not just stick with Latin or ballroom. So they have to educate themselves with the jazz and ballet and a little bit of contemporary. So they have a feel of it. And if they want to try to any TV shows, it's not enough just to have a ballroom and Latin. They have to be able to learn a trick and flicks, like something what look-wise more effective and have a wow effect.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I remember when Michael and I danced, it was youth, and we were in England, and everybody would go practice to Simile, and we would go to Oxford Street and take those dance classes. So I learned what American Ramba, they called it square Ramba, back in England in the 90s, wow. West Coast swing, boogie woogie, all that stuff. It was so much fun. So I do the same thing. I'm like, go learn something fun, get inspired. That's awesome. But can I come back a bit to your kids? Because Snow asked that question, what the advice would be. You teaching your own kids, how is that for you? We just had guests last week, and we talked about their family and they teaching their kids. I want to know what your approach is.
My younger one, she's gonna start dancing, I would say maybe September when she's gonna turn 3. The older one, very difficult. For me, I don't have enough patience to teach them. So good that I have a variety of very experienced and good teachers. So I kind of send her to other teachers. So do not lose this connection. So I'm always gonna be a good guy then. If she's gonna learn and then being so tough from other teachers, then I'm always gonna be a mom for her, not a teacher. So I'm, to be honest, at this stage when she's still little, I try to avoid any miscommunication because of dancing, and I rather put it on someone else's shoulder. But experienced and professional people like you, Elena.
That's probably me. I'll be sending my kids to Snow. I know that's 100% if they will decide to dance.
Because then it's a family and work is not connected, and then it's easier to maintain a good vibes at home and a house. We're not gonna talk about dancing, but on the competition I become a mom, and I'm like worry, and I'm sweating when she's dancing, what kind of place she's gonna get, and if she's gonna get some steps. I'm like very emotional.
So, well, I definitely did not like my mom teaching, but my mom was the best on the end of my career when she was so honest with the advice when no one else was giving it. So I'm sure she will appreciate you, like when she grows up and gonna look up to you and everything else.
Do you ever I'm sure you see those other teachers teaching your kids. Do you ever get to the point of I mean, you're listening to it, and let's say you completely disagree with what they're teaching. Does it ever drive you nuts and you're like, oh my God? Or you don't never experience that? Because I'm kind of worried about those things. Like if I already give it to someone and then they'll teach them some kind of a, I don't know.
So for me, honestly, that happened to me that's why I decided to open dance studio. So when I sent Olivia to one of the studio in Los Angeles, I was like sitting as a mom, so no one really knew who I am, and I was just very low key, and I was just sitting and watching. I was like, OMG, what happening here? So like, I couldn't believe what they've been taught to kids, and it's like I was like, I just dropped her off, and I was like going to get a coffee, so I don't want to see that. And then after I would say 3-4 months of see what they're doing with the kids without enough knowledge, and that we're wasting all the moms and the kids, they're wasting their time, and it's not gonna go anywhere. So there was a point for me, I have to open a dance studio, so even for my own kids, so she will have a good education, a proper education, dance education. Because if she's already doing this, she needs to do it good rather than it just for fun. So, and then I found the place, we did full renovation, and here we go, have a dance studio called Pro Dance LA.
So your dance studio is specifically to train kids, to become competitors and to become dancers in the professional world. Is that your main objective?
I would say 90% of what I have, what kind of business I have in the studio and students, it's the kids who professional train for the competition with the partners, with the pro partners. But yes, they're all serious about, and we're trying to get into any competition in California. So I feel like the more is better. So they would grow fast, and they would see what is this competitive world would mean, and if they like it, then we raising the next champions. So we need that. That's what I feel in America compared to Russia. Like it's 100,000 of kids dancing because it's so popular over there. Here we don't have this. So we don't have many kids. We have a lot of pro-am, but we don't have any kids. But kids in America, that's most important, to raise them and to have a future champions.
I think it's probably difficult. I mean, I'm not a mom. And most of my teaching I teach mostly adults, but I imagine, like, there's this new word that's called helicopter parenting. Like, in our times when we did bad at school, the parents would go and raise an eyebrow. Nowadays I heard that when kids do bad at school, the parents go there and defend their kids. So how is that with dancing? Is that different here now, or do you see a change that, how do you deal with that? Because I always hear when you teach kids, it's really not about the kids, it's about the parents. So what's your philosophy?
I have different type of parents as well, and different type of kids as well. Mm-hmm. So some of parents, they don't want them to be champions or to take it seriously. Some do, and that's sometimes even kid or child, they want to take it seriously, but on the other hand, the mother, father not letting them, or they don't want to invest, so they don't believe in that. So that's why one more thing, I opened up my own charity organization. It's called Art of Ballroom. Mm-hmm. And I will organize a fundraising event for a talented kid who cannot, or their family cannot afford a professional training. So we will have a scholarship for them. Huh?
I said, that's so awesome.
I know, that's amazing.
Because I've seen in my studio, I have immigrants, and the parents cannot afford anything more than, for example, 1 or 2 group classes a week. And I see in the eyes of kids this desire, they wanted to, the hunger for this, like similar what I've seen back in the days in my own dance studio. But if, for example, here in America, I see a family who can afford dancing, as unfortunately the kids not appreciating this, and they're not trying hard, and there is nothing we can do, they're just doing for fun. As soon as it's getting difficult, like more advanced, they're giving up and they do go and do hip hop. So,
Elena, what's the name of the charity?
Art of Ballroom.
Art of Ballroom.
Do you have a current website for it already, or like a GoFundMe, or what's
not yet? Not yet. Like it's not an easy process because it's something new and it's never done, like similar things never done before. So I have to go through all this process with the government and stuff like this.
But on a non-profit organization.
Yes. But that's the main goal, to get donations and to forgot the word, how you say it in Russian, Elena, I'm telling you in Russian, когда ты donate деньги.
So you can donate the funds. Yeah.
Forgot the word in English again. Scholarship. Yes, scholarship. So yes,
scholarship. I see.
Scholarship.
Okay.
There is going to be a few different types of scholarship. For example, with the local competition per month or per year, we will see what's going to happen, how we're going to create the packages. So per month, similar like they do it in university. So they provide the scholarship. We're going to provide the scholarship for education, for group classes, for private lessons, for competition, for costume, for shoes. So, and it's going to be local, maybe for couple first locally, and see. So every time they will see the progress of the couples, and then so I hope the investors who will help these kids will, believe in them, and they will help them to go national competition. And if the kids gonna really like has showing good results, I'm trying to push it to international level as well, so that these talented kids will have opportunity to see the world and represent our country.
I think that's awesome.
Fantastic.
You're really such a go-getter girl. It's amazing.
Thank you. But like I have, like, for example, I have this boy in the studio, two boys. They moved from Ukraine with their parents, so they don't have any funds, any money to dance. But I see in their eyes, like, I want to be on Dancing with the Stars. He said, I want the other one. I want to be champion. Maybe, with the boys, it's always slightly difficult. And to see this desire in their eyes, I wanted to help them to achieve their career, because these kind of boys will work really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And they would appreciate it too, because when you want something really badly and somebody's helping you to do it, that's amazing.
I think,
and I'm so happy that somebody's doing it, because when I was 18 years old, I was teaching in Max Chmerkovsky's studio, and we had talented boys that me and Max were super excited, and I was like, oh my God, this is like next world champions. We can develop them, and this is great. And the boys disappeared, and we couldn't find them. We tried to call, and the two boys, twins, they were twins. We couldn't find them. 3 years later, I was driving through Bronx, dropping off one of my friends, and I got a knock on the window, and I rolled my window a little bit down, and this kid, like 13, 14 years old, goes, do you want some weed? And I was like, oh my God. And I'm opening the window, recognizing the kid, thinking that he would recognize me. He had no idea who I was. Here he is in the street selling drugs. My heart was broken to pieces. So there is so many talented kids, and they're so underappreciated, or their families cannot afford it. So funds like this, I think, is very important. And I'm really interested when it's all set up.
Right. Once it's all set up, please let us know. We'll help spread the word.
Because it's not just in Los Angeles. I believe we have so many similar cases all over the country, in New York, and we know all the owners of the studio, so we can cooperate and we can help each of us. Like we can make it a big for our sport to help.
The reason why I love it, because it's a win-win. It supports the studios, it supports the industry, it supports the individual dancers. It makes things happen, and I think it's a wonderful thing you're doing there. Really great.
Thank you.
All right. What we do every time, we are trying to have a quiz with all of our guests. So I think it's already quiz time here, and I'm the designated quizzer of the day. So the way it works, I'm gonna ask you 10 questions, and this is really quick. So I'm gonna ask you 10 questions, and I want to hear the first thing that comes in mind, and just very quick answers. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Let's try.
So, what is your favorite body part?
My
Yes, yours.
brain.
Your brain. I love it. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Care, kind, and love.
What drives you absolutely crazy?
Laziness, like lazy people.
Funny, there's a theme. I hear that a lot. Must be as dancers.
Laziness and stupidity, right?
Oh, yes.
What is your useless talent? Do you have anything that you can do that's not of real use?
My useless.
Mm-hmm.
Way. I would say cleaning is my useless thing.
Cleaning is never useless.
Very useful.
No, come over my house, please, with your talents.
What is your biggest screw up in the kitchen?
My biggest screw up.
Yeah, we want to hear it.
There is one. So who used to be from Soviet Union, who they would understand. So we have a condensed milk. You know, you guys have.
Oh my God, this is mine too.
So then, back in Russia, we want to have a caramel. So to be able to do that, you have to boil it and cook it in the pot. So, and if you overcook it, this can they're gonna blow. So after the renovation, my mom did renovation, like beautiful white ceiling and everything, and I forgot. I left from home. I left to play with my friend, and I forgot that I left it on the thing can with condensed milk boiled. So
but
when I came home,
to forget because it takes 3 hours. By the
3-4 hours,
hours gets there, you're already doing something else. I did the same thing, but luckily not in my house kitchen.
There was my house kitchen, and it was like the caramel was all over the kitchen and the ceiling everywhere. It was disaster.
Oh my God. So next question, on a scale from 1 to 10, how strict were your parents? What happened after, basically?
My parents were not very strict.
No.
I would say 5.
5? So what did they do about the kitchen? Did you have to personally scrape it off the wall? I'm just curious. Yeah.
I have to do it everything myself.
If you could time travel into a different time or era, where would you go? Which time?
I think I would go to the future.
Mm-hmm.
To see what's gonna happen.
How far?
Maybe like 15 years, not so far.
So you can still see what you're doing.
So you see what I'm doing, and if I'm doing right, so I can apply it to what I'm doing now.
Clever.
To make it better.
Awesome.
What is your best childhood memory?
My childhood memory.
Mm-hmm.
I would say maybe when I used to travel between small cities on a bus or on a train, and when we didn't have a ticket, so it was a very unique times and fun with all my dance studio.
What is the best piece of advice you ever received?
I would say take it when you look at the situation, even bad situation can turn to the good situation. It depends from which angle you're looking at.
Okay.
So there is always a way.
If you could shop for free at one particular store, which one would you choose?
For free?
Yeah.
How about Home Depot?
Oh my God!
Oh, nice. All the girls, they're usually going for like 5th Saks Avenue or North Drift. She goes, Home Depot. I love it.
You can renovate houses.
I can renovate. I can build the houses. I can do many things.
Your brain is worth a lot. Good girl.
So I can, build a brand new dancewear studios for a dance center, and next to it I can.
Or can you just pick stuff and then you have other people build for you, or do you actually physically? My parents are architects. My mom is also an engineer, so she had to learn how to physically build houses when she was at the beginning stages of that. So she knows how to do that. Can you do that?
Yeah, no. I don't know how to do, but I have an idea about the planning, about wires, yes, and plumbing. So I can, if I need to, I can check it.
So if I'm a contractor, I won't have an easy time with you. You know what you're doing.
Good.
Yeah.
Like, nope, this one is wired wrong.
Yes, that's not under the map. That's not on the plan. So this one's supposed to be there, and then that's my contractors. I fired 3 companies when they built my dance studio.
So what have you been up to during the quarantine? How are you spending your time?
I'm very pushing online system, online classes, and try to develop and learn something new about the videos, about private lesson online, what's good, what's bad. So reevaluate, try to combine now and slowly open up for private lessons and think how we're gonna adjust to open up fully for group classes and get back to new normal.
So new normal for you will definitely incorporate online. That's something you will
100%. Yes, because we already built up a lot of clients all over the States. So, and they start being worried what's gonna happen when it's gonna be all over. And I said, nothing gonna happen. So you're gonna have same thing what you have right now. Online system, and I already preparing even a few students for a competition with the routine. So we're learning all choreography online, and once in the 2-3 months they're gonna come over to the studio, physically dance with the teachers, and then go to competition. So we fully train them online with the choreographies and everything. They just have to practice together for example, like 3-4 days, and we're good to go.
Interesting.
That's a cool concept. So basically you learn your stuff
online.
You know your steps, directions, turns, counts, and then you come in and practice with the teacher or partner, and just that's it.
You're good to go. Yes.
I mean, and we can all do that, honestly. I think it's a great idea. Like if I'd have to dance a show, like, right, in 10 days, here's the video, here's the choreo, learn it, right? And then you can just arrive and dance with someone. Hopefully they're comfortable to dance with.
Yeah, but the thing, like, open level would be more difficult because open routines, they're way more complicated. But I'm talking about bronze, silver, gold choreography with the syllabus, which is manageable to do it online and explain direction, because it's all written in the books, in our NDCA books, and it's easy to like quarter of turn, this and this and this, half a step, shoulder side. So kind of, I already taught all.
Linusik will probably have to cut you off because we have less than a minute. And thank you so much for being here. Snezha, you want to introduce our next guest?
Yes, our next guest is going to be the world champions of rhythm style, right?
Andrea and Natalie. Lena, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. This was so interesting. I definitely found out even more things about you.
And hopefully this new normal brings you a lot of business, and we're looking forward to all the charities that you're doing so we can plug it in and let everybody know. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for being
here, girl.
See you all on Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.